let's demonstrate this then. It's not mine, it's another collector's. Very similar to the Laundry Centre's one, but Laundry Centre has its own. This belongs to Luke, so this is his. Been around, he's had it for about over 10 years, probably 10 years now, easily, in his possession anyway. But it's been used sporadically, very, very sparingly over the last few years, over his ownership, and for the last 3 years it's been in my workshop, I think. But though he's taking it away, it will be going with his Hoover A3060, which unfortunately didn't work at the time, so that's why that was never filmed. But this worked, so I thought, actually, we'll do a video of it. It's been the first time it's been plugged in for about 3 years. Been really fine, actually, to a degree. It does need some light restoration. I think there's a tensioner problem for the belt, and the timer spring needs sorting out. But it does work as a dryer, how a dryer should. And bearing in mind that these go all the way back to 1978, and of course as a matching dryer, as I mentioned, for the Hoover A3060 1100. So the max load for it is £9, 4.1 kilograms, and basically you just kind of follow the same rules as you would do your washing machine. If you put stuff on fast spin, you put it on high heat, and everything on low spin, you put it on low heat, and anything woolen, you don't tumble dry. Simple as, really. Right, there's not much to the dryer. It was very basic back then, but very well built, since they're still here today, of course. Door opens with this. There we go. So we've got our original black door seal here, although this may have been replaced at some point. There is a tiny bit of perishing going on. You can see against the door here. Nothing else inside the actual door itself. Then inside, yeah, the drum is actually black. That's why you can't see anything. And that is the filter at the back. Just simply pull. And away it comes. We'll never like this design. But thankfully, if you want one where you got a filter at the back, you can buy a TCL made dryer. Currently branded as Bush in the UK markets. And they're even more horrible. So at the top, pilot light, high heat, low heat. It's a little bit mushy. They need working on. So 120-minute timer. The 10-minute mark, there's the cool down section. There is an audible click. Somebody has Tipex there and there. Obviously, it is pretty hard to see, but that's on the 30-minute mark there. Can you see how there's no resistance there? And that's because the timer hasn't actually come all the way down. The timer is so far up to there. The spring hasn't come all the way back, so it needs sorting out. So you'll hear a positive click as we go off. There's 2 clicks. Anyway. Put it on 40 minutes, but realistically this isn't going to go down properly. I mean, that's actually quite amazing. The time I actually went back. Not too bad. And believe it or not, near it, apart from one little damp patch here in the back, obviously yeah, I didn't get quite round to it, it is fully dry. I don't even need to take anything. Where's the fluff gone? It's not even gathered on the filter, because I think that's the problem with that filter. It's not exactly fine mesh. But then, of course, Ben never really does create too much fluff anyway. That's pretty quick. Right, what to give this out of 10 then? Well, so we've got to compare this to 1978. Reversing tumble dryers were just about a thing. So this wasn't reversing. Yeah. And this would have been Hoover's only dryer, pretty much. Well, saying that, they have that many washing machines either. So they had matching dryers for each of their washing machines, but they were all basically exactly the same. So you had the same 110-minute timer, that's right. The same drum, the same filter. The only real difference between, say, this and a lower-end model, the lower-end model didn't have a glass door. That's it. Other than that, it was pretty much exactly the same. You could have high and low heat and a pilot light. They were all the same. Compared to other brands then, well, Service had obviously a digital version, just about, near enough, coming out. Obviously Hotpoint had a mechanical timer, exactly the same mechanical timer, exactly the same kind of stuff. It wouldn't be later on until Hotpoint had a crease coaster. So yeah, I think compared to Hotpoint, it's pretty much exactly the same on par, including reliability, including build quality and design. However, compared to, say, Miele had sensor drying. Miele are also quite reliable and quite tough as well. Ish. The only problem with Miele, of course, is that always been the same problem. When they go wrong, it does cost a lot of money, whereas with Hoover, it was cheap and simple to repair. So, yeah, it kind of beats out Miele, but no sensor drying. Miele had sensor drying even back in 78, so yeah, it's one of them. Bosch also had sensor drying, so unfortunately, compared to the Germans, we're losing the battle. Compared to the Italians, though, we're doing a lot better. Most because we have tumble dryers, and the Italians didn't really have tumble dryers as much, you know, other than, say, Bendix. That was about it. So, and I suppose the only difference between that and the Bendix had a different way of doing stuff, which is fine, but they had 3 heats on some of them. So, and you could turn off the heat, 4 heats even, because you could turn off the heat completely if you wanted to. Having high, low and medium heat and off heat. So that's the only thing really the Bendix had over this. And a wider door opening, of course. I don't think it was faster though. I think it was a tad slower. So what's giving this out of 10 then? Well, just simply because of the market and how it was at the time, this was definitely better than anything Creed had made, by a long way. It's definitely better than Philips, by a long way. Not about the same on par with Hotpoint at the time, since Hotpoint had their own dryers. Yeah. So, I'd give this a 9 out of 10, just like the washing machines. Cool. I hope you enjoyed the review. This little review. Yes, it's just needs a little TLC. This door is going to get replaced with the actual door it's supposed to have. It's got the wrong door on, of course. And it will get fettled with and sorted out, hopefully. So, yeah. Right. I'll see you in another review. So, give us a like. Don't forget to comment down below, and I'll see you in another video. So, bye for now.